Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about what I do, please subscribe to my channel. Today, so far, it's a little early, but it is a good day in the laboratory today. So the first thing I did is look, as I do most days, I take just a general look at cultures, and if I have something I did that I want to see, I look at that first. And so today, first thing what I did is I looked at my Ports of Paradise Emerald Isle cross, which I thought gave me a bad day in the lab a short time ago. There were capsules that had been developing for 5 or 6 months, and I pulled the seed out and couldn't see a single living embryo in the seed from 2 different capsules. That hasn't changed for one of the capsules, but for the other capsule this morning, I was really excited to see, not a big deal, but 3 embryos had started to develop protocorms. Now, it's nothing. There should be, there are hundreds of thousands of seeds in there, but what that means is those 3 embryos that are there are going to be pretty unique individuals. Now, I don't know if all of them are going to form plants. They all, at this point, all I have is enlarged embryos that are starting to form protocorms. It's only been, I think it's been a little over 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks. So, but I tend to be an optimist, and I tend to take little small successes. Really, I really love those. Again, it's something that probably shouldn't have happened. I found 3 needles in a haystack, so I'm pretty happy about that. The other seed capsule, I got nothing from that, but it's something, and I'm pretty happy about that. The other thing that I did this morning is I plated seed of Eulofia alta, which is a native Florida orchid. It's a terrestrial orchid. And I plated seed from it, and what I found, I had 2 capsules, and what I found in the smaller capsule was that it was loaded with seed, and I plated some of that seed out. It was just loaded, and the seed itself looked pretty good. So I got, there's lots of embryos in there. From the large capsule, that was just, if the small capsule was loaded, the large capsule was really, really loaded. And so there were a lot of seed, and I didn't plate all of the seed from that capsule just because there were so many of them. So I plated maybe, I would guess maybe 5% of the seed, and I'm saving the rest. But the 5% of the seed that I plated, they're probably between 5,000 and 10,000 nice looking seed that had big embryos inside of those. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all the, no, I know I'm not. I'm going to give them to somebody else, the person that provided them to me. So there's lots of things going on. I'm pretty happy. I am starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with the number of orchid seedlings that I have. And what I want to do now is take you into the culture room and show you some of those seedlings and where things are. It's exciting because some of those are getting pretty big, but I can't transfer all of them because, like what you tend to get with these seed capsules, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of seeds, and I can't transfer each one of those separately in order to get plants. So what I tend to do is I pick the big ones, the most vigorous ones, and those are the ones that get moved forward and that will be potted up and eventually taken out. So that's all I have for in here. I'm pretty excited. We'll take a look at the laboratory. We'll take a look at the culture room together, and I'll show you some of the progress of the plants in there. Okay, we are now in the culture room, and this kind of gives you an idea of where I am now. Eventually, what I'll probably end up doing is filling up the whole culture room. I do have a lot of empty shelves, but this is going to be a lot of work. So let's take a look at some of the things that we have here. And right here, what we have is some, this is Epidendrum rigidum. And these are some seeds that were plated actually quite a while ago. The original seeds were plated in these dishes, and then the larger ones were transferred here. So there's a lot going on here. I'm not sure how many more of these I need. Over here we have some, I think this is, oops, sorry about that. This is Encyclia tampensis, and I'll get back to this later. I've got like a ton of these. Moving on, man, I am just having a hard time with focus today. So let's move on to this container. And so this container and this container and this container, these are some of my the hybrids that I've made, and they're getting pretty big. I want the containers to fill up a little bit more before I'll transfer those seedlings into bark or sphagnum. So I've got a few more things coming over here, and I think I've shown you these before, and I'm sorry about the glare that we're dealing with here, but these are Certapodiums, and these Certapodiums are doing well. These, I've transferred some of these into larger containers here, and I don't know if you can see that one back there. So these things, the problem with Certapodiums is these things grow so large, they kind of, in the plate, and they grow so quickly, they stick together. So I'm plating some of these out, but I'll probably have to plate a new batch of seed at lower density in order to avoid the problems of entanglement of the different seedlings that I'm getting. Down here, I've got just a variety of different things. So there's some Encyclias, and Encyclias is what I have the most of. I just have a ton of these. These are Florida natives, and I'm using these Encyclias to mount in some of the trees in my neighborhood. And what I have are in some of these, and really I apologize for the glare, but let me go down and show you. I've got those containers, these food storage containers. Unfortunately, you can't see anything in there, but they're loaded with Encyclia, from the capsule. There would be, I would guess, 500,000 to 1 million seedlings in each one of those containers. And as you can see, I got 5 containers down there. So that's a lot of Encyclias. As we move back up here, there are just more seedlings here that are in different size containers and things that I have. Here's back there, you can't see it that well, I've got some Prosthecia Boothiana growing in here, another native that they're getting pretty big, so I might plate those out pretty soon. Some more Encyclias right here, and again, some of the original containers of the Encyclias, just lots. They turn red because they're stressed out, because I have so many plants in each of those containers. It's kind of overwhelming how much is there. Down here, just some more of the hybrids that I've generated. They're going to be ready to go, I think, soon on some of these guys. I'm just trying different types of containers. The container here shows it's a breather strip on top. There may be concerns about certain type of gas buildup inside the container. So I've got a couple of these where I'm trying these breather strips just in other containers. So those are screw top containers, just to see how they work. But some of the other hybrids that I have that I've made, some of these again are just loaded with with seedlings. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna be able to even recover 1% of those things. But just more of that type of thing on the bottom. I don't know if you can able to see through here. Probably not. But there are just a lot. You can see vaguely. Use your imagination. There's a lot. This is again a big food container, and I plate my media in there, and I just have a lot of seedlings that are growing in there. I needed a way, I just couldn't put that many in the smaller dishes and these jars, even though the jars are pretty big themselves. So I'm trying other containers that are a little bit bigger and different sizes, just to see what I get. So that's just an update of what's going on in the laboratory. I'll try to post periodic updates of things just to let you know what's going on, but it's a good and busy day in the laboratory. So that's all I have for today. If you're interested in learning more about what I do, please subscribe to my channel, and happy propagating.